Hello everybody, how's it going? Welcome to the video. Today we are talking about an actual subject I've wanted to talk about for a while. There is a very easy way of me taking this video and just complaining. This is not what this video is about. I'm not going to complain in this video. I have quite a few things to talk about and I'm just going to say this now. Honkai Star Rail, my favorite game that's came out. I think I'm going to love this game for a very long time. It did only just come out about a week ago, so, stuff can change. Maybe they take this game in the right direction. But that's what we're going to talk about. With a lot of this type of stuff, I'm going to try and make it productive and not just complain about the game, because that's not what this video is about. I feel like talking about the problems in the game are generally okay if they're productive. But anyway, we're going to talk about a couple things. So let's talk about gameplay, because I think that the endgame for this game will be enjoyable, but I'm worried in some sense how much there will be to actually do. Because in games, a lot of the time, you have to make your own difficulty. And when it's like that, it's enjoyable, but if you have to make your own challenges, like, oh, I'm going to try and use like this weak team, that is not content, technically speaking. That is obviously, enjoyable to do, but eventually you'll run out of ideas or it just won't really be that fun. Obviously, some people do that on a daily, but we're going to go over a couple of things here. So first of all, let's talk about the content in the game currently at the moment. We have story. Now, I've done all of the missions. It was quite extensive. I don't know how long it took me, but I re-rolled about 8 accounts, so the time it took me is not going to be easy for me to figure out, but the story's pretty good. I actually quite enjoyed it. I think, especially some of the cutscenes. I mean, if you've seen the Cocolia, or, not going to spoil anything, but some of the fights were really good in there. We got the music as well kicking in on a certain fight. Very, very good. We have also got some other content, which I'll kind of briefly mention. What can you really class as content? I'm not really sure. There is there is farming, though I just want to get out of the way, there's dailies. And there's also like these missions that you can do, especially with some of the ones that you get when you're actually low level. I'm actually missing quite a few, but there are like actual missions you can do here, and you can unlock a character, etc. They're quite fun, but pretty normal at the moment. I believe there's going to be events here from time to time. That's what I remember from the beta. I'm not sure how the events are going to work, but if we go with Genshin, is, maybe you'll be able to get a poll, maybe be a bit of a story, etc. Now, what I want to talk about actually is not the simulated universe entirely, but we're going to go over it first, because this is probably one of the most enjoyable things in the game in the moment. As you can see, I have done 5 of the worlds because I was grinding hard to complete them. Jesus Christ. It's easy on the certain paths, but we're not going to go too far into that. I still have to do World 6, but my big problem with this is once you play this for a lot of times, obviously, you can get some nice rewards for collecting some of these curios and blessings. This is pretty nice, there's a lot of variety. You can do a lot of different builds and etc. But like I was mentioning before, this is going to be a lot of making your own difficulty rather than actual content. And even if you want to call this content, there's one problem with this. This will be pretty much what you farm. This is going to be something you farm. So it's going to be something that's going to get quite boring quite soon. And why I say that is because we get these things. Now, these are technically like relics. So the things that give you different types of stats and set bonuses. These are basically a 2 set, and you're going to have to farm these for characters. Especially once you get to the, high, mid-game, end-game, these are going to be very important. This will become a farming mode, which for me personally, kind of already makes it less valuable to me. So I'm not going to classify this as content later on in the game, because I feel like it's just going to become quite boring. So, what else do we have here? We have Forgotten Hall, and I feel like that's kind of the only thing I can mention. And that's being completely honest. Like I kind of said before, there is story, but with story, I mean, you go for your story, and you can usually go through it quite quick. Maybe some people are really into lore, so you can, just dig into the lore. There's plenty of things online and stuff, but the actual content in this game that I think is going to be endgame, that's actually going to be proper and not just repeatable content that you're going to just do for gear. And this is kind of debatable here, is Forgotten Hall. Now, Gone Hall, I actually don't have the second mode unlocked for this, but I believe it is called, let me check. I think I have the mission for it as well. I actually forgot the name of it. Actually, I don't remember what it's called. I think it's something to do with Shadow something. Well, basically, it is like Forgotten Hall. So, you know, you complete stages and you can get rewards. But it refreshes, I believe, around every 2 weeks. It is like Spiral Abyss in Genshin Impact. That's going to be quite enjoyable at the beginning. But I find with these type of modes, unless they just keep spicing them up, it's going to feel very repetitive. And I feel like it kind of coincides with it being a turn-based game. That's my opinion. You know, like, we don't have many characters at the moment, and investing in characters is not the easiest thing to do, especially once you're going to get to that end game. You know, you're going to have to level up traces, Lycones, characters. You're going to have to also make sure that everyone's got relics that are good, especially with those higher level ones. Currently don't have them unlocked, but it kind of brings up a really good point, and I really hope that they start adding some more content to the game, and it's not just extra stages or, like for Simulated Universe, just being extra worlds, because I feel like in general it's enjoyable, but you know, there's only so much you can do with it. Now, if we just talk about the actual game itself, the progression for characters is pretty decent. It is gonna get quite difficult, I think, later on, especially with, like, if you're free to play. It's gonna take a lot of farming. I would not use Jades for farming, by the way. I'm just gonna point out now. It's good to, like, progress fast, but in the end, you're gonna get there eventually anyway. So, you know, having more characters that you want to play with is gonna be more important at the end of the day, because what's more important than farming? Having fun. That's my opinion. We could dig into this for about 50 years, honestly. So if you found this video at least semi-enjoyable, or you agree with me, please do drop us a like and subscribe. It does actually help out a lot. I have a lot of things to talk about this game. I love it so much. It's my favorite game out there. I mean, you know, I've got my Yanqing. I've talked about it already, but I got quite lucky recently, or, you know, you can say lucky. Yeah, I got an extra one from the standard banner. It was about 20 rolls, I think. Let's actually save very quick. I'm very curious. I'm currently saving for my boy, who's coming up next on the banner. I've got 39 pulls, that would put me on 76, so pretty much guaranteed pity, which is pretty nice, but I got very, very lucky with actually getting Yanqing. If I just quickly go over here, I've done a couple more pulls as well. Where are you, Yanqing? Where are you? Here we go. So, currently here. So, if I just count, this is about less than 20 pulls apart, which is really funny. It was a single pull as well, but anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. If you found this video helpful or in any way, you know, productive, I don't want this to be negative. I want this to be positive, and, you know, at the end of the day, we want good changes for the game. Anyway, thank you for watching. See you next one, and adios.